In our sky system, Kundalini Yoga system, meditation, introspection. Two are very important in addition to exercises and other things. Meditation is to streamline the mind, which is already going away with the sensual experiences, by habit, by imprints of old imprints. Mind will be wandering. So, to regulate the force of the mind, we are teaching meditation. By the meditation, when you fix the mind on the life force, in Ajna Chakra, Turiyam, and even beyond, the mind is coming to the subtler frequency, thereby at your wish you can focus your mind. The mind has two parts. One is consciousness, other is mind. Consciousness is a static, mind is a wave. So the mind, because of the habit, always wandering here and there. So we cannot think and decide the things correctly. We are losing. In every action, our mind is not focused on the action. So that the practice of meditation will make the mind to stay with the consciousness. In addition to that, we are giving introspection practices, philosophy of life, analysis of thought, moralization of desire, neutralization of anger, eradication of worries, and self-realization. Up to this, we are teaching. So, because of there is no fixed program, we are not taking all the subjects regularly. Anyhow, today I am going to talk about the analysis of thought. Why this thought is very much important in the spiritual field. Everything, every experience has to come only through the thought. Or every action, again, if you want to remember, only it has to come through the thought. So, thought only involve our actions, ourself into actions. So, if you streamline the thought, then our life will be very, very successful. We have to know all about the thought. We are every day from morning to evening, we are having hundreds of thoughts. Where are they coming from? It is not known. Everybody is thinking of controlling the thought. Nobody is getting success. Why? This all should be known in the beginning itself in the spiritual field. What are our experiences already? All are imprinted in our genetic center. I will explain the genetic center a little more. The genetic center is at Mooladhara, sex gland. Our physical body is started from the sexual vital fluid. When the sexual vital fluid exhausts, the physical body also will be dissolved. So the sexual vital fluid is getting center in the sex gland. Life force is the astral body. Life force also is having working center in the same place, sex gland. And the magnetic action, intensified magnetism, also is having the center in sex gland. So three important phenomena: sexual vital fluid, life force, and magnetic force. All the three are having center, working center in the sex gland. Only these three are controlling the whole functions of our body. As well, these three are linked with the universal forces. That's what we have to know. How the thought is coming, let us think about it. Even now, you sit and remember all the important incidents happened in your life. From the age 3, you could remember how they are. This is to be understood. I say all are stored in the genetic center as a wave form, magnetic wave form. Now you are seeing a cow. Cow is with a volume of 4 feet height and 6 feet length. Such a volume reflects in the eyes. How much is here? Just like a mosquito. That much it gets a shrink. The same figure reaches the brain cells as a pressure, wave pressure. There cow, here small mosquito like a shrunk volume, and beyond that only as a pressure dot. So that pressure is made into magnetic wave by the brain cells, and at once our genetic center attracts and shrinks and stores. Whenever again our mental frequency comes to the same level, that imprint, that wave is touching the brain cells. Brain cells are magnifying the imprint, that is the thought. What you saw, the cow, first it was shrunk into a small volume and then as a pressure dot. Then beyond that only wave it is stored. You can compare this with a computer. You are feeding the computer with the news. Here the letter, and it goes as a pressure force and imprints. Whenever you want to have again, you touch the button, that magnifies. Now I am talking. It is recorded up to the microphone. It is sound. Beyond the microphone is only pressure force. on the tape. But when you take the tape and see, you cannot see anything. How it is? It's just magnetism, magnetic wave form. But when you put into the recorder again, the same magnetic forces boosted, activated, accelerated. The sound is coming. Same sound. This is the example I can give you. In addition to that, I will give another example. There is a tree. The tree gives a seed. Within the seed, the whole tree is encoded in the magnetic force in the seed. When you sow the seed, one after other, stem comes, then leaves and branches, and after that flower, fruit, everything as the mother tree was giving. How it is? So, from the mother tree and coming to the seed, it is taking magnetic contraction. Then again it magnifies by the sun's wave and the other air and other things. So you are seeing the same tree from the very same principle. First you are experiencing through the senses, whether light, sound, touch, smell, taste, whatever it may be. All are up to the sense. They are pressure, sound, light, smell and taste, all right. After senses, it reaches the brain cells. That makes as a pressure force in the brain cells. At once our genetic center attracts and keeps as a store. Again, when the same, if you remember, you are adjusting the same frequency, otherwise. Occasionally when you come to the same mental frequency, the imprint is blossoming, touching the brain cells are magnifying into the same sceneries, whatever you have seen, or other perception, whatever you have perceived. This is the wonderful mission, is the genetic center, which is having magnetism, life force and a sexual vital fluid. Magnetism is created by the life force particle by its own self-protective force. Spreading wave starting from the life force particle, that the wave becomes magnetism. The life force particles are separated from all other food and other things from the sexual vital fluid. Sexual vital fluid, the seventh tissue in the body function. You are taking the food. Food becomes juice. From the juice, a portion becomes blood. From the blood, a portion becomes flesh. Oil is separated, that is fat. From the fat, calcium is separated, made into bone. When bone is manufactured, automatically juice is marrow. essence of marrow is sexual vital fluid. This is in the evolutionary process within the body. So then the life force which is coming through all through, getting many chemical changes, electrical functions, all other things, then it is separated from the sexual vital fluid, that is becoming life force in our body. We have millions of life force particles fully flowing, rotating, circulating in our body. That only creates the magnetic force. According to the quantity and quality of sexual vital fluid, the quantity and quality of life force will stay in our body. According to the quantity and quality of life force, the magnetic force is created. Magnetic force is converted, taking transformation, physical transformation into pressure, sound, light, smell, taste. These 5 functions are going on. Finally, the same magnetic force is working as mind. Now you are feeling somewhere some pain. You cannot tolerate. You want to get rid of what you are doing. You need some material, some commodity, some facilities, some help, some action to get rid of any pain. So, feeling the pain is the function of the mind, which is the magnetic wave. At once, from that itself is the psychic extension of consciousness. Where is the consciousness? That is, every particle, energy particle, life force particle is having its center. That is, because of a speedy rotation, periphery is running fast. Anything if rotates, gradually from the periphery, if you go to the center point, the speed will be less and less. There will be a point in the center where there is no motion at all. The same way, even though our life force is very, very infinitesimal volume, cannot be seen, but so small. Even then, because it is having self-rotative force, it has a center point and periphery. So, the center point, it has come from the static state Almighty, so that the center point becomes the static state Almighty, which is consciousness. The same consciousness, by its wave, feels the pain wherever there is disturbance in the body. It feels pain. When you feel pain, at once, to get rid of, you need something. Need starts. I want to rub. I want something to eat, or something to be done, some change of place, like that. So, need starts. From the feeling of the pain, next need develops. When the need comes, automatically, need is the brain cells, function of the brain cell. The body cells are ready to work to get it. So, zeal, that is called zeal. When the mind feels something wanted, body cells are ready to work for it, that is zeal. When the zeal comes, action starts. From the action, a result comes. The result may be pain, pleasure, peace, or ecstasy according to the action. The result is enjoyed or suffered, then it becomes experience. Again, when the same pain comes, you are thinking, already I had such and such, I had such an experience. How to deal with it? Research. Then you find the best way, realization. Then you are able to do with it exactly rightly, decision. So from the feeling of the pain, that is the first psychic extension of consciousness. It develops to need, feeling, need, then zeal, action, result, enjoyment, experience, research, realization, and conclusion. There are 10 stages of the psychic development, one from other. All the 10 stages of psychic extension of consciousness is called as mind. This is the mind. Therefore, whatever we do, it gets registered, stored. Again and again, that will reflect as a thought, or you can remember and get the thought. So, whatever the thought comes, it is already imprinted. So, in our life, we would have done good and bad, both the things. Good means whatever you do, there is a result. According to the time and place, every action gives a result as pain, pleasure, peace, or ecstasy. What you want? You want only the peace, pleasure, ecstasy, not pain. So, understanding this, avoiding the pain and miseries, doing the things rightly, that is a must for man. Otherwise, so without knowing, we would have done so many mistakes. All the mistakes, misdeeds are imprinted. Again and again, they will reflect, and that will make ourselves to involve into the same action. We will get the same result, pains and miseries. What we should do? We have to avoid the pain resulting deeds. Any action, whatever it may be, it has to come only through the thought. So in the thought itself, we have to, this thought comes. If I go in action with the thought, what will be the result? Whether I have to follow in action or I have to eliminate the thought itself. There your will is working, the static state, God is working. Otherwise, only by the sensual experience or habit, mind will be following the same thing and doing. Therefore, you have to filter the thought, understand good and bad in your thought. Then you have to plan, if it is a good thought, you have to plan how to achieve and enjoy. Otherwise, this is bad. If I go in action with the thought, this will be the pain or this will be the miseries to myself or others at present or in future to the body or mind. So I don't want to do that. I have to do this way, that way, that way. For this analysis and finding it is a good thought, we have to analyze our thoughts. In that way, we have done so many things, not only our thoughts, our experiences, even our grandfathers, through the hereditary link, some of the imprints are coming. So, what we have done, that is imprinted, that is present life experience. In the date of birth, there was a bundle of karmas, imprints, through the hereditary link. So, all these two, when you join together, sum total of the two layers of experiences, conditioning the personality of man, that is the mind, that is the character, that is the value of man. So now, unless we filter good and bad and follow only good thoughts in action, we will be feeling the same pains and miseries. Therefore, we have to analyze the thought to understand that there are 6 roots. Whatever the thought may be, the thought would have come from one of the 6 roots. They are, under the force of need, a thought may arise. Under the force of habit, a thought may arise. Under the force of environmental condition, a thought may arise. Under the force of other man's imposition, a thought may arise. Under the force of hereditary imprints, a thought may arise. Under the force of divinity, a thought may arise. We have to find out. Then, if I go in action with the thought, what will happen? To find out. Now, you are having the thought of eating food. Just to catch hold of the thought, where it is coming from. At that time, if you feel hungry, oh, because of the need, the thought of eating food comes. All right, how to finish? This way, that way. Correct. If there is no hunger, but you are thinking of eating food, how it comes? Perhaps you used daily to take lunch at 1 o'clock. You would have seen the clock showing 1 o'clock. Oh, I have to eat food. Because of the habit. The same way you are going on the street or road. Usually, whenever you go there is a restaurant, a particular dish will be very tasty. So you go and eat. So just by passing there, seeing the hotel, restaurant, you are thinking of eating some food. That is by habit. We can understand whether it is by habit or need. If it is by habit, then you have to think, what about my stomach? What about my health? If I eat now, what will happen? Whether I have to eat or not. If at all I have to eat, carefully, very little for the taste. In such a way, we can adjust. Then, need, habit, circumstances. Sometimes you are going, there are picnic, people are gathering. Seeing all people, you are also starting eating. That is an environmental condition. Then other man's imposition, we are getting some thoughts. How? You are going to the market. A man is selling mango fruits on the way. Just you are asking the price. Oh, he says such and such. Yes, give me 1 dozen to purchase. you come home. Then on the way you are thinking, why I am purchasing 1 dozen mango? There is nobody at home. All have gone out of town. Myself only remaining. What I am going to do with the mango? Why I bought it? Sometimes why you bought it? Because when you saw the mango and the man who is selling the mango saw you and forced the thought, oh, this man will purchase, because he is having the only one thought, this man will purchase. At that time, when your thought is not so strong, his thought will reflect in you as if your own thought, I have to purchase. You purchased. Within moment, that thought is become weak. Your thought comes. Then you are seeing, oh, this is bad. Similar to that in our day-to-day life, we are becoming victim to others' thought, others' habits. That becomes habit. That becomes a burden to our life also. For example, I can say, the whole world, the people are smoking. Just you think for a minute. What is the use for the smoking? By the smoking, what is the benefit? Nobody can say such is the benefit. Also, we are purchasing something, using something for a reason, for a purpose. But what is the purpose when you started the cigarette? No purpose. How it came to you? The whole world, many people are smoking. Generally, if you understand, nobody purchased the first cigarette by his own money and by particular need. It was imposed by his own friend as a free inauguration. He gave one cigarette and you started. Like that, it will be that. And if you would have thought, what is the use of it? When it becomes a habit, my lungs will be spoiled. Many people are suffering from the lung cancer because of the cigarette. Not only this, every day I have to spend about $1 or $1 or $2. I am spoiling the air which is inhaled by others. That is a sinful action. So many bad things are coming by the smoking. I should not have it. Like that, when the thought comes first from other person, oh, my friend, I am smoking, you also join with me. At that time, if you would have thought all this, no, I don't want to take it, you would have refused. You are saved. Similar to that, when the thought itself imposed, we have to understand. This is the imposition of others' thought. Then the hereditary thought also, parents, grandparents would have thought of something. That was imprinted in the genetic center. As every karmas are coming through the genetic center, some habits, some thoughts also will come in time. Automatically, if you are able to filter the thought, you will find out where it is coming from. It is not my habit, it is not my need, it is not by the environmental condition. How it comes? Oh, my grandfather was having this habit. It comes to me. Then you understand whether it is good to be followed or to be eliminated. There you are at your will. Then divinity. All through the evolution, only the Almighty every energy particle started as a motion from the Almighty. Then the whole universe came into being. From one sense to sixth sense, man has come. All through the evolution, the same divine force is following as consciousness. So, in time, at the development of a consciousness, a thought may come. I have to understand myself. Who am I? Where I am going? Where I have come from? How the universe is functioning? Who is doing all these things? These thoughts will come when the mind gets fully developed. This is the divine thoughts. So in this way, under the force of need, thought may arise. Under the force of habit, thought may arise. Under the force of environmental condition, thought may arise. Under the force of other man's imposition, thought may arise. Under the force of hereditary imprint, thought may arise. Under the force of divinity, a thought may arise. When you analyze the thought, every thought, practice for 1 week enough, then never any thought will escape from your analysis. So, after analysis, you will understand what to do, how to do. It is called perspicacity. Quick understanding of the behavior of your mind or thought, linking past experiences, present circumstances, future result, taking a right decision and following in time. That is perspicacity. That kind of knowledge will develop. Then any thought comes as a habit, you will know, oh, this is coming from this way. I have to do it or not. We are saved. So that the analysis of thought is a good practice. You have to practice for a week, then see. Very, very good awareness. Where there is awareness, there is no emotion, there is no illusion. So, to get such an awareness, the analysis of thought is a must. With these words, I conclude my speech.
Any question you might have? Can you give us some more examples for the thoughts coming from divine power?
Divine power means to search the divinity, that itself divine. It's out of your habit or your need, it comes. Where I am coming from. Then you are searching. That is according to the natural evolution. Anything starts from one thing. It has to reach. The aim of that force is to reach the same force. You take the ocean. From the ocean, wave starts. That is vapor. It becomes rain. Wherever it rains, the aim of the water is to reach the ocean again. Whatever the way you do, you make a dam, you stop it, it won't stop. Unless if it cannot go reach, it will go away again and in the form of rain that will reach. So anything, because of the static state is such in the universe, whatever starts, it makes it curve, and after that it has to reach the point. There are 3 central forces in the universe. One is the energy particle, which is having center point as attractive force, static state. that attracts one another, that makes all the forms. Then you are seeing in the celestial bodies, that is earth, sun, all stars, all are having the self-rotative force. By that, the center point becomes magnetized, fully magnetized. So it is having centripetal force. Whatever is kept on the surface, that is attracting towards the center point. Even now we are sitting here, the center point of the earth is attracting. Similar to that, every living being is having the genetic center. Whatever the sound comes, whatever the vision comes, whatever the touch comes, all are attracted towards the center point. Is thoughts. That is the imprint of all experiences. So the Almighty is managing the whole universe by the center point of energy particle, centripetal force of planets, genetic center of living beings. Everything is controlled. All are linked with one another by the static state, which is penetratively all pervasive in the whole universe. So when the time comes, you are getting the thought, oh, I have to do some practice, spiritual practice. I have to go to the temple. I have to see, I want to know the God. Like that. These all are the divine thoughts.
Swamiji, when we do this practice, the analysis of thought, for a week, how long do we do?
Only when you do 1 week, this will become habit.
For each day, do we do all day long or just?
Yes, whenever thought comes, be aware. Any moment the thought is coming, all right. Thereby you can avoid the unnecessary thoughts also. Because you are catching hold of the thought, working with the thought, so another thought will not come unless you finish this.
Suppose Swamiji, a bad thought comes, how to eliminate that?
That is, you have to give, understand the evil effects. I don't want it. So you give auto-suggestion. So whenever the same thought comes, this on the thought you are giving in another imprint. With this imprint, again when the thought comes, this will, with the imprint it will come. What is the decision you have given? Suppose you are seeing me always with a glass, that eyeglass, specs. You cannot see me without eyeglass. Whenever you remember me, you are remembering my eyeglass also.
Swami, when you talked about taking the food to juice, juice to blood, blood to fat, fat to calcium, calcium to
Marrow.
bone marrow, and some sexual vital fluid. Then you said from sexual vital fluid we get the energy particle.
All through the energy particle is penetratively coming. There only it separates.
Okay.
That only will work as a life force in the living being.
Okay. As you expected that.
Otherwise, if it is not, otherwise it is only energy particle. With the pattern, precision, regularity as a inanimate thing, that's all. Here only it gets such a what is called a valuable
Life
yes, force.
So with the sexual vital fluid, we are getting all the life force particles out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you think of life force particle, it is fully having absolute velocity. It cannot stay or attracted by the earth.
Yeah.
Only heavy things will be, other things will be thrown out.
Yes, because such a tremendous
So,
velocity.
the body, so much energy particle cannot stay. So that it requires some chemical fluid.
And that is sexual.
That is only sexual vital fluid. Otherwise, it will fly away. In one rotation of the earth, all the life force will go away.
Go. Very. Could you, Swami, also explain how can we extract the life force particle from the air itself?
Air itself, even though from the air it comes, it has to go through all the
Metabolism.
yes, metabolism.
But I heard that there are some people who can live just on the environment without taking any food intake.
That is, you have to practice, but he will be no use to himself or to others. If he does not eat food,
So he is not doing the right.
the metabolism will not work systematically. That is called a method of hibernation. You can see some living beings are going in hibernation naturally. They don't at that time do anything. The same way, if you don't eat, getting force from air, the trees are going in the to the hibernation state. Frogs, snakes, these all are whenever they want, because there is a pond. Because of the heat, all the water will go away. There is no water. All the frogs will go to the hibernation. Be blessed. They will dry away everything. But when the rain comes after 1 year or 6 months or 5 months, and the same day all start beating drum.
Come back everything.
Same way the snakes also, particularly cobra. If there is no food, it won't die. Even the climatic differences will not affect it. It will go to the hibernation. Then again, when the environmental condition is all right, then it will come.
I think the same thing happens with polar bears for 6 months. They don't eat polar bears.
Yes. They naturally they are when they are adjusting like that.